The question often comes up, how do I choose, if I've been injured on the job, how do I choose the right workers' comp attorney, especially in Arizona? And that's asked all the time by potential clients when they call. And for instance, that happened recently when they were talking to our workers' comp attorney, Daniel Garza. And they said, Daniel, how can we know, who's the better attorney to represent us? And, Daniel's answer was like, well, how did you find out about me? And then say, well, somebody else had used you before, one of your other clients, and they recommended you. Well, that's a good reason. Or we went to a wonderful doctor who took so much better care of us, and they said, and we told them that we probably needed to have our case reviewed, and they said, call Daniel Garza. Well, that's, there you go. That's more validation. But let's say you weren't referred or you weren't recommended. In a situation like that, what Daniel explained is ask the attorney how many workers' compensation cases they're handling right now. How many did they new ones this month? And a lot of personal injury law firms, they're totally they just don't have the experience and the knowledge to handle workers' compensation cases. So if the answer is like 2, 3, that's probably not the firm that you want. But and if they say, oh, we know plenty and whatever, you can take the information that we're going to share and say, well, what about this? What about that? And listen to the answer. And if it doesn't jive with the information that you've already gathered, keep looking, keep calling. But anyway, you want someone who's experienced, who's been doing this. I mean, Daniel's got over 20 years experience, and virtually there's almost no situation that he hasn't seen. So when you talk to him, you'll discover that. So make sure they're experienced, make sure they generally get good outcomes, and been referred by past client, a doctor who does workman's compensation, sees the workman's compensation patients, which, by the way, there aren't very many doctors like that. Just be aware. But if you get a referral like that, you're in pretty good hands. So remember, call us if you're injured on the job. The call is free, the information's free, and it can make a big difference in the amount of benefits that you get, and both short-term and long-term. So just remember, we put you first.